So this is my office, and it's boring. I decided it was time for a makeover. What was supposed to be a quick few days turned into weeks as I tried paint color after paint color before finally mixing my own custom color. If you mix the two together, I get the color I'm looking for. When my wallpaper encountered a shipping delay, I continued decorating with unfinished walls before finally being able to do finishing touches and watch my dream office unfold before my eyes. Good morning, guys. This is day one of my office makeover. I have been dreaming of doing something with this office space for so long. It has been my little bakery haven, and it's where I do all of my behind the scenes stuff for my cake and also my YouTube content. So transitioning into doing a lot more YouTube content. So I really want this room to feel cozy and just calming and a relaxing environment for me to do all of my editing behind the scenes. So we are going to go with more of a cozy and moody room. As you can see, I kind of got two desks going on here, but I have a plan for that. So let's get started. I'm getting started by cutting in around all of my crown molding. This is such a tedious part of painting, but a critical one to get right, because without sharp, crisp lines, it doesn't look professional, it just looks messy. I actually really enjoy cutting in though. It's soothing and therapeutic in some ways, and it's also familiar. I spend hours painting details on cakes just to get lost in my own work, so this is right up my alley. So let's go back to yesterday when I went to Ace to pick out my paint color, as this is where the painting saga begins. I had a pretty good idea of the shade of olive green I wanted until I picked up a few samples. Then I started second guessing myself. Ultimately, I decided to stick with the color I had already chosen, which was seasonal, the color I had used in Ashley's office. There just happened to be a Starbucks next door, so I had to grab a coffee before I headed home, right? I began rolling the paint on the wall and almost instantly noticed the color seemed a bit more blue-gray than brownish green that I remembered Ashley's office color to be. It just didn't seem the same. I just thought, maybe this is just one of those trust the process moments. I mean, surely after another coat, the color will start to feel warmer. But honestly, I think I knew this color wasn't going to work right away. I just didn't want to repaint, so I was in a little bit of denial. You see, I had built this up in my head to be this magnificent oasis that I could escape to. So in my mind, this room had to be perfect. I needed this office space to be a sanctuary, my creative space that inspires and relaxes me. So for those reasons, I knew I was all in. Whatever I needed to do to achieve that look that I wanted, I was going to make it happen. But at this moment, I was in full denial. And I didn't want to repaint, but mainly, I didn't want to drag this makeover out any longer than it needed to be. I was too excited for it. So I ran through every possible scenario in my head that would make this color work. Needless to say, I was a bit frustrated at this point, but still determined to make this work. So I carried in the rug and proceeded to try and get it under the table by myself for the next hour. Because, I was angry, so I can do it by myself. I don't need anybody's help. But really, I think I just didn't want to admit to anybody that I'd made a mistake. gonna be real honest, I don't know why I thought an accent chair with arms would work under a desk. Even if it did, obviously it would be too short. I don't know what I was thinking, but once again, here I am trying to make it work. I might be a little bit hard-headed or stubborn, or I don't know, maybe both. Yeah, you think? Girl, put that thing back in the box. I got these really pretty brass outlet covers and light switch cover on Amazon, and they are so pretty. They just add so much to this space. This dresser is so stinking heavy because I didn't take anything out of it. And of course, I couldn't be bothered to ask for help. Oh man, the dresser clashes with the wall now because it looks blue, but I really don't want to repaint. Okay guys, so this color is looking a little blue. It's not really pulling green like I wanted to, so I'm scared. Okay, hold on. I ordered in 2 shades of green from Magnolia. Actually, I ordered in 1 shade of green from Magnolia. One is in trim paint and one is in wall paint. And they are not the same color. Yeah. So, and I'm a little scared. I can't even tell if this is it doesn't look the same as the samples. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna put on 2 coats of this color I don't care for, which is more of a, in my opinion, a poopy diaper green, mushy pea green. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use that to base coat everything. I'll get 2 nice coats on the wall, and then I'm gonna go back over it with this color. It's more of a true olive. So I'm not gonna bore you with painting because, well, we've already done that. So wish me luck. Okay, second coat is on, and while I'll admit it looks better, it's still not the exact right color. Anyway, I'm going to go back over with the third coat with the color that I actually thought was more like what I was looking for, and we'll see how that turns out. Obviously, I don't have wallpaper up yet, and I think that that's going to make a huge difference. So yeah, we'll see how this unfolds. This is after the first, or sorry, I guess it's the third coat, but it's the first coat of the color that I wanted. Problem is that this wall looks the right color. The lighting on this side is playing games with my color. So once I get the wallpaper all along here, I'm hoping everything comes together. Okay, so I bought Garden Party, which is green, but again, in this light, it looks blue. Landscape, which is that color, or that color, is more of a pea green. However, if you mix the 2 together, I get the color I'm looking for. This is Garden Party, and on the wall, it looks slate blue. Garden Party, Landscape, the blend of the 2 together. I think that's the color I've been looking for. It's an olive. That's the slate blue one, the mix of the 2. I just didn't have a whole lot left. One way or another, I'm gonna make this happen. I sure did. Look at that gorgeous olive green. Well, it's been about a week and a half, but we finally got that paint color taken care of. Now it's time to run some of these LED light strips in my bookcases. The outlet is at the bottom, so I had to drill a hole at the top so that I could run the LED strips all the way up and all the way down to the bottom.
Back in the changing room, wood had taken on the side.
I was so stinking excited to be making progress in this room that once I got these LED lights up, I decided to start putting anything and everything on these shelves just so I could see what they would look like styled, even though not everything ended up staying where it is, but nonetheless, I got to see what it was going to look like, and I was so happy. I actually really like the curtain rods that I already have in here, so I'm just giving them a quick spray with brass colored spray paint to go over this pewter color so that they will match all of the brass accents that I'm pulling in. Okay, I'm obviously still working. My wallpaper hasn't come in yet, but it's gonna go all on that wall. And then I haven't finished. I just started working on everything, so I still have to get everything put up. This is my new chair. It also has an ottoman, so when I'm sitting here, I can put my feet up and it sort of feels like I'm sitting on a Chase lounge. I was getting a little aggravated that my wallpaper hadn't arrived yet, but that was not going to stop me from decorating everything I could get my hands on. I got these antique brass candle sconces from Magnolia. They're so cute. I just love them. And then, of course, I started hanging some pictures on the wall, but I didn't film it, or at least not all of it, because I think I played Jenga with these picture frames for a good hour and a half before I actually settled on something. And of course, this wouldn't be my office if I didn't have a cake dummy in here. I took apart a 3-tier example cake I had made and only kept this one tier. It feels a bit vintage and really just perfect for this space. Ended up adding some gilded figs in a wooden bowl to top the cake. I kept the decor on this cabinet pretty simple by adding in some dried fruit to a distressed bowl, then just placing that on top of some books that I thrifted, some wooden taper candle holders, an antique clock, some greenery in a vase, and that's it for this cabinet. I found this really beautiful hanging wall note set from Magnolia, and it's really pretty. It's a burnished bronze, and of course it's practical because you can actually write notes on it. So I really thought this would be a unique piece to incorporate, and it's not just a pretty piece to have, it's functional too, which is what sold me on it. And I'm just adding this cute little messenger bag on this bronze hook that I found at Magnolia just to finish the space. And because I have zero patience to wait for the wallpaper, I went ahead and hung the picture and the sconces temporarily just so I could see what it would look like. Guess what? My wallpaper's here. Yay! Okay, so I have done quite a bit of wallpaper. I've never done pasted wallpaper before, so I'm a little nervous, honestly. This wasn't cheap, and I am so afraid I'm gonna mess it up. Oh, but it's so pretty. I can't even hold it still, it keeps unraveling. Oh, I love it, it's so pretty. Okay, so it's like 12 o'clock. I've been like trying to brace myself and get up enough nerve to come in here and start this project. So, okay, I'm going to go make myself another cup of coffee so I can have that in here, and we're gonna get started. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited and I'm so scared at the same time. I found this awesome wallpaper adhesive on Amazon, and it has like zero smell. It really did work really well. And I was so excited to get this wallpaper up that I forgot to set my camera up when I put the first panel up. I had to just like make myself stop what I was doing so that I could go set it up. This wallpaper I got from McGee & Co. and it is so thick and so durable. I really like this paper a lot. Now I will say it was not cheap, but I do think that this is going to hold up for a very, very long time. Now I discovered last week when I was doing some editing that I have lost a large amount of footage on one of the corrupted SD cards that I have. So at the bottom of this panel right here is pretty much going to be the last little bit that I'm able to show. And I cut the panel too short right here, so I just sort of cut it out the top of the flowers and just stuck it across the bottom. Nobody could tell. Easy breezy. So I have this one area right here where I accidentally pulled back on the wallpaper. So what I did was I just cut out a piece of flour, and I'm just gonna paste it over that spot to cover it, and nobody will know. It's getting real. I can finally decorate my bookshelves. So I went to an antique market with my sister-in-law, and we found some amazing antique books, and a large number of them are classics like Shakespeare and Dickens. I got super lucky at this going out of business sale, so I got so many great, beautiful books. Now, when I decorate my home, I'm far from a minimalist. I think what makes a room feel cozy is adding in personality through belongings. And when I walk into a room, I just want to be able to appreciate the beauty of the room through the inviting mood that it creates.
For all those dice games that you play.
I found this adorable glass box from Magnolia that I thought would be so charming, holding some of my favorite keepsakes, along with my son's baby shoes that I always have on display. This drawing of hands that I found is so simple, but I just love it because when I look at it, I just see like the hands of a creator or the hands of the creator. I just think it's so beautiful. This is my great-grandma's jewelry box that looks so amazing in my office, but also I love that I can see a piece of hers out on display every single day. I just used Velcro command strips to hang this picture frame up right here. I was just a little too quick before my husband hit record. This little desk I just set up with all the things that I needed to journal and to work in my planner so that everything is right there in front of me. This is my great-grandparents' wedding photo that I had matted and framed in the original bound mat that it came in. It's just so pretty, and I love it. It fits perfectly in here. With most of the decor now in its place, now it's time to get these curtains hung. I'm just using antique brass curtain clips to hang them. And spraying the curtain rod brass to match the curtain clips was a very subtle change, but it made a huge impact. I found these curtain panels at Target. They are a very beautiful linen texture with a blackout backing. And I have all of these same curtains in my living room and in my breakfast room. They're very versatile and they just add so much softness and texture to a room.
It'd be nice to have a big Christmas wreath up.
Now I'm just making sure everything is still tight so I can put the sconces back up on the wall. I think these battery-powered sconces are absolutely amazing. They add so much character to a room, and you can get them in so many colors and looks. It doesn't require, any actual wiring. They are so affordable. When I found this painting at Hobby Lobby, I knew I had to have it because it reminds me so much of our wedding day. We were married just outside of Edinburgh, Scotland, in Dalhousie Castle. It was such a fairy tale moment. Funnily enough, when our son saw our wedding picture, he looked at it and said, "Mommy, is that when you were a princess?" Ugh, my heart. This brown and white knit throw at Target, and the pillow I found from Pottery Barn, which I love that it has a subtle blue pattern and it pulls the blues from the wallpaper. And the pattern is subtle enough that it still works against the wallpaper. So these are the legs that actually came on the chair, and they're too short. So the legs just unscrew. I bought these off of Amazon. These are 6-inch, and then these just screw back on. As you can see, this one is 6 inches with the wheel. This one is 6 inches by itself. I needed it to be about 2 inches higher, and I also wanted it to be able to roll. So I ordered these in, and these just raise the height up another 2 inches. So now that it's the perfect height, I can move around in it very easily. Okay, just one last task to do, and that's install this beautiful chandelier. So I've never installed a light by myself before. Normally, anything electrical I refer over to my husband, but I wanted to learn how to do this myself. I don't like being dependent on people, so he showed me how during another light install, and now I feel confident, but I'm scared to make a mistake. So I keep double checking everything, and honestly, it was really easy. It's just that it took forever because the screw height had to be adjusted from the top and bottom underneath the cap. And I'm blanking on the name of what that's called, but anyway, that had to be adjusted. So it was constant trial and error just to try and get the height right. So it took a little bit longer and my battery died, but that's okay because we got it installed and it's beautiful. Okay, just kidding. I do still have one more task, and it is putting these knobs on. And I did have a little bit of an issue because as I got these on, I realized that they weren't lining up correctly because this right door was hanging down just a little bit. So I attempted to adjust it, and the top hinge, the screw wasn't adhering. So I'm just gonna have to replace that hinge. For some reason it's not lining up right, and I'm not really sure what I'm gonna have to do. It's almost like the screw doesn't want to catch. So I might just have to replace that hinge, but for now, we're okay. Okay, so this is where I need you guys to vote and help me. I'm trying to determine whether or not I'm going to leave this backing as wood, or if I'm going to carry the wallpaper all the way down on this backing. Just for reference, I'll slide one underneath real fast. Okay, so it doesn't go all the way across right now. I'm just sliding it up underneath here just to give you sort of a visual of what it would look like. So tell me, what do you think? Should I go ahead and carry the wallpaper down, or should I leave it all wood? I decided to play this contemporary classical music going forward because this is what I listen to as I work. I really wanted to try and convey the feeling that I get when I'm in my office, and this was really the only way I could try and convey that through this video. I can't believe I am finally finished. It's everything I wanted and so much more. The feeling I get when I'm sitting in here is it's overwhelming. I'm calm, relaxed, inspired, motivated, and in some ways transported to another time entirely. This is the perfect space for me, and I've been so much more productive since working in my new space. I'm so happy with it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. Bye.